Hello friends and viewers. In this video, I will review ways you can increase your party's critical strike in Sword of Convallaria. To begin, this video is intended to teach you about external sources of critical strike and critical strike damage from unit skill kits and gear. This video is not going to review every character's innate crit bonuses, only external sources such as character auras and buffs and character gear. Starting with the basics, non-seekers have a baseline crit chance of 5%. Seekers have a baseline crit chance of 10%. The baseline crit damage of all characters is 30%, with Seekers having the lethality of Seeker talent that increases crit damage by up to 6%. Crit chance and crit damage bonuses are additive. Starting with external general auras to the party, Lightning has the skill Crit Command, which increases crit by 20% for other allies within 2 tiles around the character. This means Lightning herself does not benefit from this aura. Hazna's trait, Fragrance, while not an aura, debuffs enemies and increases their chance of being critically hit by 15%. This remains 15% from star level 1 through 5. These skills can stack, so the total possible crit increase from these 2 general auras is 35%. Cole and Nurgle have Leader's auras for units in the Alacrity category. Cole's aura provides 15% crit and 15% crit damage. Nurgle's aura provides 15% crit only. These Leader's auras do not stack. If you have the choice, consider Cole instead of Nurgle's Leader's aura for your crit gains. So the total possible crit increase from Leader's auras is 15%. If we add that to the sum possible from general auras, the total is 50%. For crit support buffs, Coco's Iron Pot Stew grants allies a level 2 crit buff and a level 1 crit damage buff for 2 turns. KA Archer's Critical Enhancement grants allies a level 2 crit buff for 2 turns. Level 2 crit increases crit by 30%. This buff cannot stack. Both abilities have a 3-turn cooldown, so the buffs have a hypothetical 66% uptime. Coco is also currently the only character who provides a crit damage buff. There are currently no external sources of crit level 3 crit or higher buffs. Cole has access to level 5 crit, but only for herself. Butterfly and Flare have a chance to provide a level 1 crit buff with the Blessing skill. However, it has too many steps to trigger and would be overridden by level 2 crit buffs. Use this skill for healing or dispelling, but I don't advise this as a reliable crit source. So the total amount of crit via character support, the total possible from general auras is 35% through Lightning and Hazna. The total from Leader's auras is 15% through one of Cole or Nurgle. And the total from level 2 crit support buffs is 30% from one of Coco or KA Archer. This means the total possible crit chance via external character support towards your party or a single character is 80%. For weapons, Star Raid Crossbow, Nameless Staff, and Void Stab are weapons that increase crit by 15% at star level 5. For Nameless Staff wielders, movement becomes part of their damage rotation. Void Stab is the only weapon that also increases critical damage. Non-legendary weapons are not displayed here, I'm sorry. For trinkets, Maverick's Cloak and True Lens are 2 trinkets that provide 20% crit at star level 5. Evergreen Pendant has a chance to grant a level 2 crit buff. However, recall this will not stack with Coco's or KA Archer's level 2 crit support skills. Be mindful of the conditional requirements for all of these buffs to trigger. For Tarots, Verdict of Justice increases crit by 15% and crit damage by 15% with its exclusive effect as well. Like the Blessing skill, Elegance of the Empress has a chance to provide a level 1 crit buff, but has too many steps to trigger and would be overridden by level 2 crit buffs. Use this for dispelling, but I don't advise this as a reliable crit source. We know the total possible amount of crit increase via external character support is 80%. From gear, bow, spear, and sword wielders can get 15% from a star level 5 legendary weapon. You can have a total of up to 20% crit from conditional trinkets, and a total of 15% from the Verdict of Justice Tarot. So the total possible crit increase via gear is 50%. combining external character support and gear, the total possible crit increase is 130%. For Engraving Resonances, Double Wand provides the same pool of buffs as Evergreen Pendant, granting a chance for a level 2 crit buff. Double Sword increases crit by 20%, but only on unharmed targets. I don't advise running either of these resonances just for crit. I'm only displaying this for informational purpose only. For Tactic, we have Raid Order, a talent under the Secret Tree which grants 100% bonus crit and 20% bonus crit damage at level 5. With a 2-turn uptime and 2-turn cooldown, it has a hypothetical 100% uptime, but of course, contests with your other TP skills. This is best used on units with low crit chance, but can be used for the bonus crit damage regardless. I want to close with some reminders and considerations. This deck is intended to help outline all the sources of crit bonuses available to us, but do not forsake attack or damage gains exclusively to increase crit. Between crit gains from character buffs and gear, be mindful about overcapping crit chance. Crit chance over 100% is not valuable, so recognize how much innate crit a character has from their trait or specific skill and raise accordingly. For characters with innate crit traits or skills, it's reasonable to consider equipping gear with crit bonuses. However, for every character, assess all of your choices and options in context. And remember, you always have access to the Raid Order command. For hypothetical team compositions, I would run an Alacrity team with Coco, Cole, Hasna, Nungal, and Raria. This provides Perfect Assassin Leader's Aura, Hasna's Fragrance trait, and Coco's Iron Pot Stew. All but Coco here would have innate crit increases, and they are members of the Alacrity category. For a more free-to-play friendly team, a hypothetical composition is Lightning, Ka Archer, Raria, Mytha, and Flame Sorceress. This composition focused primarily on having Lightning for crit command and Ka Archer for the crit 2 support buff. All others can really be substituted. Raria herself has innate crit gains through her Tipsy trait, but Mytha and Flame Sorceress would just be there in a hypothetical composition for the respective tank and damage roles. All in all, I hope this video helps you think about where you might want to increase crit in your party. Please feel free to share anything I may have missed in the comments below, and thanks for watching.